la long, a la 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 long, 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 long. Come on. A la 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 long, a la 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 long, 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 long. Hey.
How's it going today, all my YouTubians, ODYSEEans, Slayin Saiyans, Cobra Kai's, and all my pumpkins that are smashing? I'm Original Asherella, and this is Original Asherella, my channel. Today's video is for everyone watching that dare to venture out into the Wild West that is online dating apps. Tinder just recently announced that they will allow you to do background checks within the platform on your Tinder matches, so you can swipe a little safer now. Now, with the popularity of things like the Tinder swindler and things like that, I'm really not surprised that these platforms are taking a little more personal responsibility for like the safety of their users. And we're going to be looking at an article from CNN that talks all about that in just one second. But before I get into that, you know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are watching on YouTube. If you are watching on ODYSEE, you can follow the channel. You can gently caress the notification bell on either platform so you know every time I upload a video. You can leave me a like, you can leave me a comment on either platform, and you can hit me up on Instagram or tweet me. Okay, as I already mentioned, today's article is from CNN, and the title is Tinder is making criminal background checks available on your dates. Okay, CNN Business. Tinder wants to help people surface red flags about potential dates through a quick and affordable criminal background checks.
Beginning this week, Tinder will see background check tool integrated into their popular dating app Safety Center. The new option is part of a partnership between Tinder's parent company, Match Group, and Carvo, a nonprofit background check provider focused on gender-based violence awareness and prevention.
Okay, so first thing I'm thinking, a affordable way. Are people going to have to pay for these background checks on their Tinder matches? I guess we'll find out. Okay, the update
announced Wednesday comes a year after Match Group shared news of an investment in Garbo, putting 7 figures into the organization with the intention of helping build out its services and making it accessible to its users. Alongside the Tinder rollout, Garbo is removing its waitlist and will allow anyone, Tinder user or not, to conduct searches on its website for a small fee.
Okay, so yeah, you're gonna have to pay for it.
Garbo, which calls itself the new kind of background check for the digital age, was founded by Catherine Cosmides, who is a survivor of gender-based violence.
Gender-based violence, like, because she is a woman? Okay, anyway.
Garbo currently searches public records of arrests, convictions, and sex offender registry across countries in the United States where accessible. Match Group is Garbo's first consumer partner. To conduct a search, Garbo asks for information that one might readily have about the possible online dating connection as one nears an IRL date, such as first and last name, phone number, more information such as age, date of birth, zodiac sign, which users can opt to share on their Tinder, and would help narrow down one's birth month and zip code, will help survive more accurate results. The goal is to arm online daters with information that can make them feel safer about their dating choices, but the service could also raise new concerns about how people will use it and what they may take away from it. Okay,
I'm glad that was brought up because, like, well, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but you know this capability is going to fall into the wrong hands. And somebody is going to use it to harm and or abuse and or exploit someone, like people do with everything, right?
Okay. Cosmide said individuals who seek out Garbo will likely come from one of two buckets. They're either a cautious person and searching everyone, or they have a gut feeling about someone. She said, adding that she hopes to eventually make the platform more robust over time to incorporate other relevant types of records. Some safety experts see Tinder's incorporation of Garbo's tool as an example of paying lip service to the issue while shifting the burden to its most vulnerable users. We know that sexual violence is so rarely reported, and we know that convictions are so incredibly rare, even when it's reported, said Nicole Bedera, a sociologist who has researched sexual violence and who previously worked as a victim advocate. You're going to be missing a lot of really dangerous people through using criminal record search and background checks as a proxy for safety. It can create this false sense of safety when it shouldn't be there.
That's actually a really interesting point, because if you run what you have, I mean, you're only going off the information someone's giving you. They could give you like a fake zodiac sign and name and have like a Google telephone number or something like that. And like, you know, I mean, if somebody's really sketchy, there's definitely going to be workarounds around this. But anyway,
Badera said that instead of focusing on tech features and products, Tinder and Match Group could, for example, put lobbying money into offline efforts to educate and prevent sexual violence. I don't think tech is a solution to all components of sexual violence. Last fall, Match Group CEO threw support behind the Violence Against Women Act, including a $500,000 corporate donation to the nonprofit National Network to End Domestic Violence.
Where do you think most of those domestic violent relationships start, huh? No, I don't know. I have no idea.
Cosmods acknowledged Garbo is far from a silver bullet. The database currently has more than 1 billion records of violent and harmful behavior, and the nonprofit said, but there is also a significant caveat, which Cosmods and Garbo made clear. The most violent individuals never interact with the criminal justice system, Garbo's website states.
Well, that's terrifying, isn't it? Like, the most violent individuals never get caught, is what she's saying.
Anyway, okay. Cosmo said she does not want to provide a false sense of security. The intention, she said, is not for people to over-index on whether search turns up criminal record for someone. Rather, she said it's part of Garbo's overall mission to educate and support people on gender-based violence. Garbo's website contains articles and podcasts intended for people to navigate relationships with support. It also has partnered with the National Domestic Violence Hotline so people can access a 24/7 chat through Garbo. I will
Actually put that number down in the description, because seriously, and being serious right now, if you are in a, relationship where you are being hurt, you need to get out, and so seek some help. All right.
Tracy Breeden, head of safety and social advocacy at Match Group, echoed this point. Breeden said that a product like Garbo can create safety for people, but we just have to make sure we're prioritizing education as well, to make sure safety doesn't begin and end with a background check. A former law enforcement officer, Breeden joined Match Group in late 2020 after working as Uber's head of its global women's safety and gender-based violence programs. In a conversation with CNN Business last year, ahead of the Garbo investment, Breeden said that joining the dating industry, she saw a need for people to be able to access the information. Tinder, like Uber, has drawn significant attention over the platform's safety issues. Months before Breeden joined ProPublica and the Columbia Journalism investigations to expose shortcomings of Tinder and other dating services, including how they fail to crack down on sexual offenders. In response to that article, a Match Group spokesperson said the company doesn't collect enough information about users to conduct screenings. Asked by CNN Business why Tinder doesn't directly leverage the information from Garbo to first clean up its platform rather than putting the onus on individuals to do the work, Breeden said that the company may not have relevant information about users to conduct the searches. Breeden also said that users could choose to report someone based on a Garbo.
I had a pop-up come up, and now I lost my spot.
Based on a Garbo search, and Match Group search would then take action.
Okay, I've got some thoughts about this, but we'll get into that in just a second.
Garbo said a search typically takes up to 3 minutes to populate results. To access results, users must acknowledge that Garbo should not be used for other purposes like employment or tenant screening, credit or insurance, or hiring household workers. Garbo also noted that the level of accuracy of the information it produces, rated by how much these results match the personal details provided. Tinder said it will give users 2 free background checks on Garbo to start. For non-Twitter users, any subsequent searches, people can purchase 1, 3, or 5 credits from Garbo for $250 plus a processing fee.
Okay, so $250 just to have the service, plus a processing fee, which they don't state how much is.
The site also gives the option to pay more to donate free searches to people in need. Unlike other background check providers, Garbo doesn't provide identifying information like someone's address history in search results. Badera noted that the criminal background checks, given their limitations, at best, limited effectiveness, and at worst could reproduce inequality, citing that systematic bias in the criminal justice system. Garbo says it removes certain nonviolent offenses and retrieves records going back up to 14 years on offenses with the victims and up to 7 years on financial crimes. It has no look-back periods on domestic or sexual assaults when it turns up results. Garbo also provides the relevant penal code associated for users to learn more.
The end. Okay, so a couple of thoughts on this. Well, first of all, okay, if Tinder was really serious about keeping its platform, free of people that are not on, the registry or don't have any type of violent, history like that, then they could require somebody to have a background check before they even sign up to use it. And yeah, that would cost Tinder, but I mean, I'm sure they're making tons of money off the app anyway. So, I mean, that is one option. But what this sounds like to me is that they're not providing you any more information than a regular Google search would. Really? Because it's like, well, they can't guarantee the accuracy of the information, and we only can go off what is provided. Like, if you give me somebody's name and birthday and telephone number and, like, region they live in, I can bring you back some information on them, most likely, off a random, like, Google search. Like, the best way to try to find, like, a random phone number, this is, like, a pro tip, is to search it in Facebook. Like, if you get a phone call from a number that you don't know, go to the search engine on Facebook, or, like, the search on Facebook, and put that phone number in, and search under people. And if it's a business, it'll come up with the business's page. If it's a person, it'll come up with the person's page. And I read that on something several years back, and I have utilized it several times. But, like I said, like, this information that they're providing us is, or at least what the article sounds like, it's no more than you could find out Googling someone on your own. Now, do I think the concept of being, you know, able to do a background screening on someone that you're going to meet IRL the first time, is okay? I think, yes, if both parties consent. But, you know, if somebody did a background check on me and I didn't know about it, I'm not entirely sure how I would feel about that. How would y'all feel about that? Like, I'm kind of working through that feeling right now. I haven't come to a firm conclusion on how that would make me feel, because I just now thought about it. So let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. I am genuinely curious. On one hand, I feel like I would be like, okay, I get that they're, you know, trying to be safe and ensuring their safety, but then on the other hand, it's like, who knows what personal info they're accessing on me and about me that I might not want them to know at that point, you know? So that's a really interesting thought. You know, anybody that, like I said earlier, you know, that was like wanted to do actual background checks on, you know, anybody that they might potentially meet up with, then they need to just create an entire dating app platform where you're required to go through a background check before you're even accepted to use the app. I mean, that's actually not a terrible idea, because everybody involved would be screened and would be, I mean, unless you used a fake name and, you know, social security number and that kind of thing, then everybody would be consenting to that because you did it on yourself before you even signed up for the app. But those are just some thoughts I have. What do you guys think about this and this really shoddy, doesn't seem like it's going to be a very effective way for people to do background checks on their Tinder matches? Let me know your thoughts on all this and anything else you want to talk about down in the comments below. I am Asherella, the original. This is my channel, Original Asherella. And if you are not watching my channel regularly, you haven't been around in a while, you might not know that Kino and Commentary is now on Original Asherella on Twitch. It is the same name as this channel, but we watch a movie and we watch really good movies and we commentate on it, and it's a really good time. And that is on my Twitch channel on Sunday, or it's on Twitch on Sunday, Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. So you can find me on Twitch. There'll also be a link down in the description. I'm going to stop rambling because I'm starting to get tongue-tied. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you don't already subscribe. Follow the channel if you're watching on ODYSEE. Gently press the notification bell on either platform. Leave me a like. Leave me a comment. Leave me a dislike if you want. You can't even see them anymore anyway. And follow me on my social media accounts. I have Instagram. I have Twitter. Always have been. Never tap out. Don't forget to keep on.
I'm looking in your big brown eyes. Ooh, yeah. And I've got this to say to you. Yeah. Girl, I want to make you sweat. Sweat till you can't sweat no more. And if you cry out, I'm gonna push it some more. Girl, I want to make you sweat. Sweat till you can't sweat no more. And if you cry